What is up, everybody? We are here at Reformation in Canton, getting you guys ready, and we're going to recap everything here from the opening matchup. It was Mexico getting the 2-0 result over South Africa to open things up here in the 2026 World Cup. Madison Cruz here of the SDH Network, alongside John Nelson joining me, and then alongside with us is Drew Dickinson as well of the SDH Network. We're going to recap everything that happened in the opening ceremony, maybe get into some U.S. men's national team preview before tomorrow's matchup, and so much more. Let's talk just, I think, about the emotions of today. I know when I woke up, it was like a cool breeze in the air. It was, oh my gosh, this is so exciting.
I had people texting me, sitting there saying, "Merry Christmas." Happy soccer, happy soccer day. Yes. Literally, that's what it is Christmas for the soccer fan without question. Oh, you had to work though.
Well, I mean, I did have to.
Yeah,
I did have to work, but it doesn't mean that the excitement level wasn't, almost to the top. It was at a tipping point, as I said yesterday on social media. It is nothing short of Christmas morning for us soccer fans. You're 100% right. I wouldn't say Christmas morning for the South Africans, though.
Oh,
we'll get into that here in just a moment.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately, you had the opening matchup. It was Mexico versus South Africa. It was the rematch of the 2010 opening of the World Cup back when it was back in South Africa. It was a rematch there. Mexico was able to come out on top on this one. It was in the 9th minute. It was able to find the back of the net early for Mexico, and then they were able to find the second one. But that maybe isn't the whole conversation of what happened. 3 red cards were shown in this matchup. 2 to South Africa and 1 to Mexico. And Mexico's one, I think, is the most impactful, too. It was Montez as well, the captain of Mexico. I mean, he's going to be out for that next game against South Korea, which is going to be, I think, a battle. I think a battle, especially in that moment as well. But, I mean, South Africa already down 2 players heading into that next matchup against Czechia.
And it was late in the match. It's north of 85. You're trying to lock things down. You're up comfortably. You're up 2 men. And Montez does a hip check just outside the edge of the 18. And you get that. And center ref, the Brazilian center ref, went straight red.
Mm-hmm. It took him a few seconds, but he did go straight red.
Yeah.
And you had that decision. So that, to me, is the other intriguing part of this. Going straight red out of the deck. It wasn't, I'll think about it for a second, I'll go yellow and then review, and then no. It was bang. I mean, literally, he laid the ace on the table, and he was ready to go. So Montez will not be available, trying to stop Sun Heung-min. So good luck on that one in the match day 2, yeah?
Yeah, no, for sure. Mexico, of course, no slouch to the opening game of a World Cup. Of course, like Madison said, they opened up the 2010 World Cup against South Africa. Of course, if you don't know, Mexico was the first ever team to play in the World Cup ever. They came up a loser to France 4-1 in, I think, 1913.
1930.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy stat. But yeah, Mexico, look, they're playing in front of their home crowd. What is it called? This
I think it's Mexico City Stadium.
Mexico City Stadium.
Something like that?
Yep.
We'll keep it at the Azteca.
It's the Azteca. I'm sorry.
Azteca. And, you heard the pregame, whether it was Clint, Landon, Alexi Lawless playing inside that stadium, whether it's your first time, second time, it's an atmosphere. It's an atmosphere like
Ask
none other.
Michael Bradley about playing in that building.
I tell you what, even Landon, even Landon, ask Landon about playing in it. But no, it's Mexico's home crowd. I wouldn't say the elevation played a factor in it, because remember, South Africa has been in Mexico for 10 days.
Yep.
So you would think that they're used to the elevation. But we saw the scoreboard, we saw the red cards, just, I would assume, mostly frustration from the South Africans, and look, we saw Mexico 2-0 win, but like I say a lot, don't let the scoreboard fool you. Obviously, Mexico did dominate the game, but it really wasn't pretty, in my opinion. It wasn't pretty from either side. That's why I really, really enjoy what you guys said about South Korea, Mexico next. I know I'm looking ahead, but it could be a fun matchup, especially in this group.
And I mean, it's not the only match that is happening tonight. It's a later game at 10 p.m. It is going to be South Korea versus Czechia. going to kick things off there. So if you are a little bit of a night owl, you want to stay up and watch that matchup. I know I will be as well. You got to make sure. It's a part of the job, though. I got to make sure I do that, too.
Part of the job.
But also,
part of the job, I have to stay up late to watch soccer.
I would not want it any other way.
No.
Wouldn't want it any other way. But I think this matchup, too, when you look at it, obviously the rankings coming in, ranked in FIFA, Mexico's ranked 14th in the world, and then South Africa's ranked 60th. I think coming into this game, especially with the home crowd, I think that gave Mexico a huge advantage. I mean, you heard the crowd when the Mexican national anthem was playing. You heard how loud it was in there. And I do agree. I don't think it was the prettiest game, but I do think Mexico were the better team at the end of the day. I think they got the job done quickly. I think they were able to put it away. I was a little nervous when they went down when they did to 10 men, when South Africa went down to 10 men, then 9 men. Mexico had to put it away. They had to find a second goal or even a third, I think, especially when you look at the group stage now, because 8 of the top third place teams, they move on to the round of 32. That can come into a huge factor. I do think Mexico will be around the second or first in their group. I do believe that. But even so, that could be the difference maker, I think, when you look at everything else, whether it's goals and point differential in every sort of way.
Yep.
With what we saw, the first half, if you are a fan of El Tri, it worked because you get that first goal and you were dominant in that first 45, but you only had the one goal on the board.
True.
There were plenty of chances to put the game away in the first 45, and you didn't do it.
And this is credit to South Africa, I do think. I want to give them credit because I will say they did not allow for Mexico to do a whole lot, too. They made it a battle. They brought it to them. Just like Abby was saying, too. I agree with her. I think South Africa did really well. Unfortunately, it was a 2-0 loss for them, but it could have been much more. South Africa did a good job of slowing things down.
You know, Mexico, they've never lost a World Cup game in Azteca. Today was kind of the same. We saw Raul Jimenez, pretty much put the nail in the coffin for South Africa. And Madison, when you mentioned the top 8 third-place teams advance to the 16s, you got to think that red card that was received from Mexico in the latter portion of the game, had South Africa found a way to sneak one in, they could be right there already comfortable in what could possibly be, even if they, we talk about getting grouped or whatnot, even if they don't win out, they draw 2 more, that goal could have been crucial. But we saw that free kick. I don't even know what that was. You're a fan of South Africa, and you made the trek, and you saw what you saw. Got to be a little frustrated.
Just a little bit. I think especially with the setup, you had South African players going up to the bench and Hugo Bruce as well, given some marching orders there, and then the execution of it just was not I think what South Africa wanted in that moment.
I can't wait to hear what Hugo Bruce has to say post match. If he's going to throw anybody under the bus, or make the random I blame MLS comment.
Well, that's inevitable.
Yeah,
oh, no.
That's inevitable.
You figured Hugo. I can't. Hugo Bros, for all the wrong reasons, is must watch post game because you don't know what he's going to say. You don't know who he's going to throw under the bus, and it's going to be. Yeah,
I don't think we've got it quite yet. I haven't seen it.
No, it hasn't come up yet.
You got your cooling off period, and then Hugo Bros, I think, will be first. And then you'll go from there with Aguirre. But no, I can't wait to hear what his comments are going to be and what's going to be published.
Well, I think when you look at the red cards, the one that does stick out to me is Montes for Mexico. It was right at the very end, straight red, as we talked about it, which, listen, we had the discussion when it happened. I think going straight red for something like that is a bit harsh,
especially in the opening game.
I agree. I mean, listen, it's a hard foul. It is, and it's a yellow. For me, it's a yellow for sure. I'm going yellow there immediately. To pull out the straight red, I feel like it's a little. I don't know. I feel like it's a bit excessive.
Well, let me ask you guys a question. Does it set the tone for yellow and red cards for the rest of the tournament?
No.
Because now you have a foul like that for the rest of the tournament. Someone's going to be expecting something more than a yellow card. Or, if that was obviously inside the box, not only was that a red card, but that was a penalty kick.
Yeah.
And I think, what was he, a yard away from that happening? So that's just me. I wonder, because a lot of officials are different, but you get an official who wants to make the game about them. And after that red card, we could see a lot more. I mean, I don't know what the record is. That could be something to look to when we have our hydration break.
Yeah, really?
But that's just for me, is something I'm going to keep my eye on.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to touch on, I think, a piece of this match that's so That's really interesting to me. I think when you talk about the head coach for Mexico in Javier Aguirre, you look at his history and what he brings. I talked about it on Nation by Nation on our segment on SDH, but I mean, 40 years in the making, this moment for Mexico, and for him especially, being on that team and then coming and being the coach of the national team and to be in that stadium. I mean, I can only imagine what it was like, the atmosphere, being there, being a player and hearing the national anthem, stepping out. I mean, you get goosebumps thinking about it.
No, I agree. Remember, Mexico, this is everything for them. Soccer, football, that's their pastime. You know, I mean, America has baseball, football, basketball. So, Mexico has soccer. And, you know, whether Maradona stole the show in '86, but it was about, you know, revolving around that Mexican national team. And I agree with you that the amount of goosebumps, you know, obviously I don't get goosebumps when the Mexican national anthem plays, but for Americans, most of the time when you're watching your team play with that shirt on and that national anthem drops, you're right, Madison. It's emotional. And sometimes it's hard to not let those emotions take over. I didn't see that today from either of the Mexican players that came on the pitch. Not one.
I'm just, you know, I take the moments for what they are. For the 200 more fans than will be in the Meadowlands, that was one of the things that was like literally just before the match starts, they announced the capacity of Mexico City Stadium. It just happens to be 200 more than where the final's going to be. But now for everyone in that building, and for the renovations for that, you know, for the Azteca, and I've been fortunate enough to be in that building.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
When you had Atlanta United take on Club America in CONCACAF Champions League in the Hemispheric Extravaganza, that's where they played. And to be in that building, and I mean, if you ask Jason, who is the number one, I'll be Celestephile to create a word that of any of us. For him to be able to walk on that pitch.
That was everything.
So for him, he understands what it means. And so, you know, being there and understanding what that building means, just to those of us who are fans from the outside.
Yeah.
I was concerned early on today if you had nothing going right for Mexico early on, because of all of the pomp and circumstance and because of all of the emotion and because you were expected to win. You were a heavy minus side favorite in the juice boxes. If you're not scoring early, if it's goose eggs heading into the 35th or the 40th and you're getting closer and closer to halftime and you're giving South Africa that hope, I was concerned that might affect Mexico in this match today. I still thought when it was only 1-0 that South Africa had a chance to draw it even. But think of the pressure in that locker room for El Tri going onto that pitch, hearing that anthem. All of those fans are yours. Just the pressure that's there. I mean, the excitement, you probably are just going sideways anyway.
Yeah.
But the pressure that's attached with the expectation that's there for this club, I mean, that to me, I was waiting for that second moment to happen, and you finally did get that second goal, which gave him a little bit of room. But then you talked about Montez and that red card. That with that give, there's that take, and so I want to see how it's navigated in match day 2. Yeah,
that match too. And I mentioned how much of a big one it is. It is going to be against South Korea. That's the next match for Mexico.
Do they stay in Mexico City?
Well, let's find out, Drew.
Okay.
Let's find out.
I'm unsure. I'm pretty sure they do.
I think so as well. I believe so.
I'm just unsure because I know there's a few other sites. You know,
Guadalajara. That's where they're
right.
They're going to be in Guadalajara Stadium when they face South Korea at 9 p.m. That is going to be June 18th, 9 p.m.
Okay.
That is when they will face South Korea. And that matchup, too, South Korea is also facing Czechia tonight at 10 p.m. That is also going to be at Guadalajara as well.
All right.
I think that matchup, too, Group A is really interesting, I think, in the way when you look at it. I mean, again, when we talk about groups, I feel like group stage now, there's a lot of weight to it, especially trying to figure out first and second. But with the third place teams also added to make that round of 32, it creates a whole different conversation. I think, especially when you come to points, when you come to goal differential and everything else, those top third place teams, they get the opportunity to go. And that has to be, especially when you look at these other groups where maybe it is a little bit closer, not at the top, but maybe at the bottom. That's where it gets really interesting. I think Group A could be one where I think Mexico is going to get out of this group. I think Mexico is going to get out. Yeah. I think South Korea is also going to get out.
Yeah. It's either 1A and 1B for them, for me.
It creates an interesting pattern when you look at South Africa, when you look at Czechia. And that's why that matchup, Czechia and South Africa, which will also be that same day as Mexico and South Korea, that makes that match so interesting, especially getting the win, getting the result there.
Earlier, right as the time in the game was expiring, John, you made a very good point. And Madison, this piggybacks off of what you're talking about. Goal differential is so important, and the fact that, and you could hear the fans. I'll be honest. I wasn't able to watch a lot, but I listened to it on my way here, and you can hear the fans. Ian and Landon even mentioned it. The fans were not going to allow that Mexican team to take their foot off. Before halftime, around the 40th minute is when boos started coming. They could feel that. Okay, are they parking the bus, or is South Africa really starting to turn up their intensity, pick up the tempo? But now back to that third place, the 8th third place finishers advancing on. Madison, you're so right, especially in a group like this. It was such a great point with the South Africa and Czechia game, the same day as South Korea and Mexico. Just to touch on that real quick as well, South Korea is going to be fit. They're going to run all over the place. My question is, it's going to come down to that elevation and age. We know South Korea is climbing up there in age. Their star, Son Heung-min, he's getting up there. He's in his mid-30s, but he is playing some of the best soccer he's played in a long time for LAFC.
Yep.
Another one that is, mark it on your calendar, South Korea and Mexico. Yep. It's going to be a great one.
That'll be fun.
BYU was the home for the Korea Republic for 2 friendlies leading into the World Cup.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
And when they played Trinidad and Tobago and El Salvador, it was on the BYU campus.
Yeah.
Great environment. You couldn't find a seat. They added seats. I mean, it was a 2,500 seat stadium on the campus of BYU. They added 1,500. So you had 4,000 people on top of you. It was great visuals. The thing to look at, though, in the El Salvador match, the second friendly, they did not impress very much. It was kind of stumbling their way through it in elevation. And I don't know if it was just taking the situation for what it was. It's the second friendly. It's El Salvador. Yeah, we're at elevation. You're just going through the motions. Or if elevation was getting to them for the second match in 4 days. I don't know which one of those it is. So South Korea, Korea Republic, however you want to phrase it, they were not all that impressive against El Salvador. How are they going to be at elevation, getting adjusted to it now? We'll get that first element tonight. For me, I want to see how they respond in games that mean something and what it's going to mean for Korea Republic in this one. Did they shake the El Salvador match off? Is it going to be different tonight, or is it still going to be that same kind of funk that they were in at the tail end of the 4 days of that second match?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Let's go ahead and move into tomorrow. There's a couple big names, and John, I'll let you touch on it a little bit. I know you wanted to talk about it. We'll talk about Group B.
I wanted to talk about Group B.
Group B, Canada and Bosnia and Herzegovina at 3 p.m. It kicks things off on Thursday.
I've heard of them.
It will kick things Friday, not Thursday. Today's Thursday, guys.
I swear to you, I talked about it this morning. It felt like a Monday.
I swear, it's like you're getting started.
It felt like a Monday.
I get that.
It felt like the start of the week.
It literally felt like a Monday to me.
But yeah, fair enough. I get that.
But even though tomorrow is actually Friday, it did feel like a Monday because of everything starting.
But you wanted to talk about this matchup in particular. What sets it apart, and why do you think this matchup's going to be interesting, especially for Canada, one of the host cities?
Yeah, it's with Canada.
You had a word for them too.
Careful now. I don't want to get the E rating for this show.
Let's not get the E rating.
No, I just meant the G word.
Let's
Which
go.
G word is that?
You said Canada are going to get
grouped.
You said it, not me.
I think Canada's getting grouped. I really do. the injuries, you don't know about Davies. You don't know, obviously, he's not going to be available for match number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Moise Bombito, it was announced this morning, and we found this out during the show, that SDH AM, 9:05 a.m. Eastern Time on all of SDH social media platforms and soccerdownhere.net.
Shameless plug.
Thank you.
No biggie.
So this morning we find out Moise Bombito is on the active roster. He was not replaced.
Okay.
He was removed in the Uzbekistan friendly in Edmonton after 30 minutes. Because he's still trying to recover from the broken leg, and 30 minutes in, they had the ice bag on his shin, and you were wondering, okay, was it just the atmosphere? Was it just the dampness getting to him? Was it affecting everything? But Bombito was not replaced.
Okay.
Flores was replaced by Jaden Nelson. That was the easy one because you knew that Flores was not going to be a part of the active roster. Bombito is. How healthy is he, and how does that impact the back? Does that mean that Luke DeFogerol, the 20-year-old, is going to get the start at the back? And he's coming off an injury. So injuries at the back, matter of health, and obviously Jesse Marsh isn't going to tell you. He's not going to give away anything.
No.
But I want to see how the back is for Canada in this matchup against Bosnia and Herzegovina, because set pieces. Edin Dzeko, who is 704 years old.
Still going.
Bosnia-Herzegovina, their captain, and he's one of their focal points when it comes to their set pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll give you another name that we talked about this morning. And you and I have seen New England Revolution 2.
Yes.
MLS Next Pro.
I'm not going to lie, I did not know where you were going with this one, and I was like, yes, absolutely.
Of course. Yeah, them.
Esmir Bayraktarovic.
Yep.
Okay.
The Milwaukee Messi.
Yep. Oh, wild.
And so he's available for them, and
Amazing.
he was part of the group that was there for the PKs that got them past Italy and into the tournament.
Sorry, Nick.
Kolasinac is a part of that starting lineup too. Bosnia and Herzegovina is going to be a problem for Canada, especially on set pieces. Yeah. If Canada stumbles at BMO in their first match in this World Cup tomorrow, oh boy. The thought bubbles and all of the talk and all the chatter. You wonder, Dr. Evil, he's going to be like this, Dr. Evil. It's going to be...
I don't know if I like the accent you just did, at all.
That's Mike Myers trying to be...
I kind of dug it.
No,
See, he dug it.
I dug it. I don't know.
He dug it. That's what matters.
Of course. All right.
But I think legitimately, I think that Bosnia and Herzegovina are going to be quoting Stephen A. Smith, they're going to be a problem.
Yeah, they are, dog.
Yeah, well, you mentioned, I think, questions in the back for Canada.
Yes.
It leads into our next talking point about the U.S. men's national team. It's a big question mark. It was something that I think going into the World Cup, heading into this matchup, and also heading into, I think, tomorrow's matchup against Paraguay at 9 p.m., I never thought I'd be saying that the back line would be an issue for the U.S. men's national team. But with Chris Richards, you're not questioning a couple of things. He did brought out yesterday that he says he's ready to go.
Well, you're not going to say, well, no, I'm not ready. I'm not going to play.
But it's one where he missed the friendlies, and you saw some question marks in the back.
Right.
You saw that, and you saw a couple of those misplays, especially with Miles Robinson and how that's all going to shape out and everything. I think for me, when you look at this U.S. men's national team going up against Paraguay, I think it's going to be a battle. Paraguay is a very solid team, and they're also dealing with some injury concerns as well. But, I mean, it carries a little bit of weight. You remember that last friendly that happened? Things got a little heated, which I don't mind. I don't mind it at all. I'm really curious, and I'm questioning, and I'm interested to see what that back line's going to look like for the U.S. men's national team tomorrow, and maybe if we see an appearance of Chris Richards and how that works.
You're exactly right. As usual, the marvelous Madison Cruz.
There it is. I was waiting for it.
I tried.
Look, for me, two things. Of course, the health of Chris Richards, extremely important for this national team. But my biggest question, also with the back line, the age of the captain, Tim Ream. He's 38 years old. He is climbing up there. Can he keep up with the speed when needed?
I honestly, and here's what I'll say about that.
Without
I think
Richards?
Tim Ream, I think if you don't have Chris Richards, I think it does become an issue. I think Tim Ream is a very intelligent defender in what he can do. I think especially when you have the speed and you also have that in Chris Richards, when you have Tim Ream there, Tim Ream's smart enough to know that he can step back. He doesn't need to step up too far. You don't need him to run that much, but he knows how to manage things, especially in that back three. We've seen the U.S. men's national team do a lot in those friendlies.
Yeah.
Now, without Chris Richards, you do question a little bit, and you've seen the fluctuation a little bit, especially with Miles Robinson, with Trusty, with Mark McKenzie, and how that has shaped out. I will say, and this is for me, and I think it's already been solidified by so many other people, Alex Freeman is a must in that starting lineup, is a
100%.
must on that right side.
Yeah. He seems that he's going to be healthy and ready to go too. So does that mean that Serginho Dest is going to play higher up the pitch?
Yeah, I mean, because especially when the way you have it set up, I mean, back three, back five, I don't want to listen. I could go on a tangent about this, but anyway, listen, it's one where in that setup, you want Anthony Jedi Robinson, you want Sergio Dest pushing as high as you can and get them involved. Right. I think Sergio Dest, he could be the difference maker for this U.S. men's national team if you get him more involved and you get him. Service is just his quality and what he brings to you. I think it's something you've been missing. And I think Jedi too here since he's come back. And I think both of them are going to be key for this U.S. side in getting some more service into the 18 and getting some stuff going in the attacking third. Because they just bring so much more space out wide, and then it allows for you to target those players like Christian Pulisic, like Weston McKennie, like Balogun. You get those guys more involved. It creates a lot more service, especially in the width.
I think that you're having the discussion about Tim Ream. So if we sit here and we think of the back five, if we think of it as a back five, Tim Ream being the ring finger, which is a $20 fine because I left my wedding band at home.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah, it is. So basically, if you're looking at, say, Dest, Freeman, insert other, Miles, Trusty, McKenzie, I think that with the cover that you have with Jedi coming back to help Tim Ream, it's going to be key for whoever's going to be off of Tim Ream's left shoulder, which is going to be Jedi. And then that center back and also possibly that midfielder that's going to be in front. It's going to be just as important on the surrounding players. So Tim Ream, if there's something that happens on a through ball or something over the top, it's going to be those players that are surrounding him to help. We know what Tim Ream is mentally, and we know how smart of a player he is. Yeah. But it's going to be the athleticism of those around him to help act as cover for your captain in those situations when you're talking about stuff on the left-hand side.
And, I'm extremely comfortable with that. I'm extremely comfortable with Tyler Adams. If Jedi wants to push up, Tyler wants to hold back, fine, cool. Tillman, if he wants to hold back, so Tyler, Jedi, and Dest can go up even further, I'm cool with that. I just, there's to me the lack of cohesion with Tim Ream and whoever else, if it's not Chris Richards. I just hope there's been enough time before tomorrow night, because we saw Miles Robinson against Germany, and I don't know if that was just, a one-time thing for him, but I mean, he kind of got bullied in the back, and I hate to say it, but that's just something that can't happen again, and that's where I come in to trust Mauricio Pochettino.
Yeah. I think in the game against Germany, the first goal, you give up that early. It's on a set piece. No one is marking, and that can't happen. And it was trying to pinpoint it. It was Miles who's supposed to be there to get that guy. The second goal, I don't think you can fully blame it on Miles. I think that one is just a moment where the entire team just switched off, and that can't happen.
Well, and Madison, to interrupt you real quick, they had already made the subs, and there was a completely new 11 on the field. To that respect, but continue with what you're saying.
I think, and it's one I think with the question marks in the back line and how that all shapes out, it's going to be something I'm curious to see. We've seen Miles a lot, especially in that starting role with it. And so, I mean, especially with Mauricio Pochettino and what he's talked about with this side, he trusts his gut. And I think especially with what he needs to do and what he needs to put out there. But I will say, after being there, being in Chicago, seeing the friendly between Germany, I really liked the way that the U.S. performed. They didn't just let Germany take the win. They did not let them do that. And they brought it to them. I think every single minute right up to the very end, they brought it to Germany. And I think you saw it in the reactions of the players. You saw it, I think, especially in post-match, especially in the mix zone, hearing it from them too. They like that performance. I think it's a performance you can build upon. Obviously, there are some mistakes, and that can be costly, I think, especially in the group stage. And going up against Paraguay, a team that can cause problems. You have to be switched on, but I really like the way they performed. I thought the intensity, I thought what you saw from them, it was this relentlessness. And I like you got a lot of service, I think, especially in the attack. You got Balogun involved. I mean, come on, we got to talk about Jedi's goal, right? I mean, let me just say, that might have been the first time I've ever witnessed an entire group of people in the press box gasp. Like, I mean, freak out. It was wild.
It's like
it was
all the
insanity.
air goes away and then it comes back in.
It was insane. I mean, because you didn't even see it happen. I think I looked down for a second, ready to type something, and I look up, and I just see the strike. And I went, what are we doing? It was insane.
Pure strikes
I think
is what it was.
I'll quote Tyler Adams. He said, "Can you save that for the World Cup? Can you save that and put that in there, please?"
I know, really?
But I mean, you get a lot of those guys hot, and it's where I'm also curious, thinking that midfield too, and how things are going to shape out. You have so many different playmakers who can come in and be threats. I mean, Sebastian Berhalter obviously coming in, he can be a set piece weapon. If you want to use him in those situations. Malik Tillman, I think, is one that I really like the pairing, especially with Christian Pulisic and with Weston McKennie. I think he does a really good job in those moments. I think he balances well. But you also have that balance in who you can bring in and who can do what, because that might change depending on which team you're playing against, who can be the better fit in that lineup.
Yeah. I also really appreciate, and I think Pochettino does as well, Gio Reyna. He shows up and he puts on the red, white, and blue. He really, really does. That could be, again, Madison, depending upon where you are in the game.
The Gio Reyna discussion.
Oh, no, don't get me started. Don't get me started.
That could exceed some sort of happiness out of I can see that it does for the both of you guys. But no, like we were saying, I think that the most trust you have in this U.S. men's national team will start with the midfield. And I believe that this team will go as far as Weston McKennie, Folarin Balogun, and Christian Pulisic allow them to go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You haven't seen much partnership build between Flo and Pulisic. That's what I'm looking to see tomorrow night. I want to see the strike. I want to see the tip of the spear, if you will, in Balogun show what we've been missing since Brian McBride, Eric Winaldo. We have not had a clear number 9 go-to goal scorer. I mean, remember, we didn't last World Cup, didn't make it in 2018. Or excuse me, 2018, 2014, Josie got hurt.
Don't remind me about Tim Howard and shooting from distance, okay? Don't remind me about that one. Don't remind me, Trinidad and Tobago. Don't remind me.
I think that it could be especially with this new third place thing coming into play. Mm-hmm. I think USA sit in a very, very favorable position in their group as far as advancing to the next round.
We'll go back to the Gio Reyna if you really want to get into the conversation about it, because I have thoughts.
See, this is where Maddie got dialed up. She was.
I did.
The whole Gio Reyna discussion: should he or should he not?
No, I mean, here's my thing. There's no question about it. Gio Reyna is a top player, and he is. You got to get consistent minutes if you're going to do that.
You mean 19 minutes in competitive play in the Bundesliga isn't enough?
512 minutes. That's how long he played with this Bundesliga side and 1 goal. I hate to bring in Diego Luna in this situation, but he had more minutes in 4 games with Real Salt Lake.
I think that's how Harry Maguire feels about the John Stones selection from Thomas Tuchel.
Here's my thing too with Gio Reyna. I think Gio Reyna, and you hear it a lot from a lot of these guys. I think I saw a video yesterday of some of the U.S. guys talking about who they would want, especially to step up to take a penalty. And a lot of them said Gio. And I think Gio has the capabilities to do that. We haven't seen it, and I don't know if I have the trust to do that. And especially putting him in a situation where, hey, I need a last-minute goal. I need you to come in and get the job done. He's played really well in the last couple of games. I haven't seen that spark that indicates to me, yes, Gio can be that guy off the bench. He can be that guy who can be a difference maker. And I think you need at least one of those players in every single roster in a World Cup, because there's going to be a situation where you're going to need one guy to save you. I don't know if the USA has that.
For you, it's not Gio Reyna.
I completely agree. And I'm not, I'm not a Gio fanboy, but I have seen Pochettino sub him in arguably every game that I've watched. Yep. And so the trust factor is there, or is it just, hey, these are friendlies, get in there, kids, show
Run
me
him
what you
out.
got,
Yeah.
because like I said, when Gio came in, it was, a whole new formation. All the big guns have been taken out. Madison, you were talking about the USA, bell to bell, whistle to whistle play. Sorry, I'm used to
Man and his wrestling Jones. He's dialing it up that way.
Once that first hydration break ended, USA looked like a top team in the world. They outplayed Germany. Second half came, you saw Poach try and keep with that starting 11 for as long as he could. And then it just got too late for that equalizer. And then you see all the substitutions come in, and then inevitably Germany get the game-winning goal. Yeah. But back to what we were talking about with the national team and the trust factor. I think it's all there. Just need to see if they can gel with the center backs. That's just it for me. That's it. I think everything else on paper is there.
Well, we'll get into one more talking point before we'll transition maybe to more overall.
Well, okay, so after your talking point, we do need to take a natural break.
We will. We'll take a natural break here shortly. And then coming up after we wrap up our discussion with U.S. men's national team, we will have a couple members of the Georgia Impact UPSL side coming up and joining us.
Right on.
Giving their thoughts on the World Cup and also a little bit about their season too. But the other question also for me is the goalkeeper. I mean, you saw Matt Turner step up huge. I mean, if you would have told me in March who it would have been, I would have said Matt Freese 110% in what you saw.
Okay.
Matt Turner not doing well, and you saw both of them up clutch in a lot of moments too. So I think I still think it will be Matt Freese. I think Matt Freese will be your guy in goal. But I don't know. Now it's a little bit of debate.
When is the last time the United States have gone into a World Cup and we have asked that question?
Not a lot.
I cannot remember.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, even starting in 90, 94, it was Miola's gig, and Friedel was there in 94. Friedel was playing in early 2000. So USA really hasn't ever had that question being asked. John, I'm curious of what you think.
Miola, Friedel, Keller, Tim Howard. Well, Brad didn't get enough minutes, frankly.
Well, I know, but he
was in the roster, but he never got enough minutes.
If Tim didn't come back, Brad would have played. That would have been his job in 2014. But
Don't remind me.
Yeah.
So Zach Steffen is a part of the discussion, but you haven't had going into a major competition a 1A and a 1B. It was always the line was there. You had a 1, you had a 2. This, I think, is 1A, 1B. And it's going to be the vibe that Pochettino has in practice out there in Irvine, California, leading up to this match, whether it's going to be Freese or if it's going to be Turner. I mean, are
you okay with either if he makes a decision?
I kind of have to be because I can't. Well, no, but my point is this.
You're right.
My point is I don't have a lean one way or the other.
Yeah, same here.
I'm like, where am I going here? It's like, I can't say I'm 100% Turner. I can't say I'm 100% Freese. And so I've got a 1A and a 1B, and it's just, okay, cool. Whoever, and as we all know in our favorite sports, if you've got a hot goalie,
you stick with them.
You stick with the hot goalie regardless of where that is. So who is the hot goalie? And what does that interpretation mean if you're Mauricio Pochettino? Is it somebody who's been shining in practice and has gotten you to this point? Is it vibe?
I like that.
Vibes.
Am I vibing?
Oh, gosh, John, no. Stop.
So I can't sit here and say you're 1, you're 2. For me, it's a 1A and a 1B, and I think they both have merits. They both have demerits.
Yeah.
So neither one would surprise me. Let's put it that way.
Fair enough. Well, as we continue to wrap things up, one more point before we will take a quick hydration break.
Okay.
We talk about the group itself.
Okay.
Group D. It's one where I think initially, before you had the playoff winner come in, I think was maybe a slam dunk, maybe a little bit for the U.S. in getting through. I think it's now a toss-up. You have USA, Paraguay, Turkey, and Australia.
Yeah.
I think Turkey is the dangerous one, and I don't like that the U.S. plays them in the last game of the group stage. I don't like it at all.
Any of those UEFA teams coming into your group, you know it's always going to be scary. And how Turkey qualified, if they're still running on that high, Group D, I mean, better watch out. That's why these games against Australia and Paraguay for United States are so important. And, we'll bring the point back to Mexico and South Africa. Score. Keep your foot on the gas. If you have your chance to put your foot on their throat, do it. Yeah. Anyways, I got excited.
Yeah,
sorry.
And every single one of those teams play so differently too. Very different style of play for each of them too. So it's going to be a challenge, and it's going to be fun to watch. But it kicks off tomorrow, 9 p.m. It's the USA versus Paraguay. We're also going to have a watch party right here at Reformation as well over here at the Mill at Etowah. Also, and Woodstock as well. We will be here. We're going to kick things off actually here at the watch party. It's going to start from 5 to 6 around the same time, but we're going to kick things off right at the top of everything tomorrow.
5 to 6.
But we're going to, in spirit of everything with the World Cup, we're also going to take a hydration break for a quick minute. And then when we come back, we will have Georgia Impact UPSL talking a little bit about their season and some World Cup predictions as well. So we'll be right back.
Hydration break
here shortly. All right, we are back after our hydration break. So John and Drew have tapped out, and we do have. Are we having somebody else join as well? Yeah, there you go. Let's go. All right, we'll go ahead and get the mic going.
And there we go.
Perfect. So what I'll have you guys do is we are joined with Georgia Impact UPSL. I'm gonna have you guys introduce yourself as well to SDH. All right.
I'm Joel Brown.
Gerardo Martinez.
Let's go, guys. Now, I know you guys pretty well, especially calling UPSL matches for Georgia Impact too. We'll go ahead and talk a little bit about, we have a couple more Georgia Impact as well in the building too, watching too.
Yeah.
We got a good crowd here. We'll talk about y'all seasons first. I mean, it's been, I think, an insane season for you guys. I think things have really clicked, especially watching you guys from the very beginning to then now. You guys are in playoffs, and it kicks off Sunday. You guys are going to LSA Mustangs, a team that you guys faced earlier on, got the result back at home at Cherokee High School. For you guys, how has the ride been getting things going?
I mean, it's been tough at the start, but as you said, we really picked up and we found our momentum, and we're just trying to, carry it into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say like at the beginning of the season, we're all new players. We got Joel, he's coming on new. So the team was really not clicking at the beginning, but now, I mean, we're just joking around in practice. I mean, taking it serious, but, messing around, having great chemistry. So we feel good. Yeah,
you got to build it as it goes on too. And you're okay to have a couple of jokes here and there, a little bit of jokes here and there.
Yeah.
But I think one thing that I think is so impressive too is, especially with this group, what Callum, I think, has brought together with you guys. It's been really a joy to watch you guys really break through. I think especially individually, but also as a team too. What has Callum brought, I think, to this side as well? I mean, especially with you, Joel, coming in and being a newcomer here, but then for you, Jerry, I mean, being a part of this side for as long as you have been too.
I would say Coach definitely brought confidence. When I just came into the team, I was out for like 2 seasons, still suffering from like injuries and stuff like that. And he helped to shape my mentality to be able to push through and, get the results that are needed.
Yeah.
I mean, he's coming from playing, Scottish Premier League, coaching overseas. He just brought the winning mentality, really, that we needed. Gave the guys a lot of confidence and just that winning mentality, aggressiveness. So.
I mean, we've seen it a couple times. His celebrations after a couple of games have been kind of, I mean, I would say there's a couple that I've had to miss, but the knee slides is where it's at. I mean, if you haven't, go check it out on social media if you haven't seen it. It's quite hilarious. I'll ask you guys, going into this game on Sunday, it is a doubleheader, especially for Georgia Impact as a whole. You have WPSL playing at home. You guys are going to be on the road. This game specifically against LSA Mustangs, what are you guys anticipating? And also, I mean, first match in playoffs. I mean, what is the mentality? What has practice been like leading into this match?
Yeah, practice has been really intense. We're trying to, fine tune the details going into Sunday. But I think the main focus is just continue to find that momentum and continue to be ruthless in the way we play and to still have the confidence and trust in each other going into Sunday.
Yeah, I think Joel just hit it right. Yeah, just going out there, building again from our momentum that we got going on, trying to score goals early. That's always a plus. Last result we had against them was not what we wanted, but it's do or die now. So
I'll ask you guys too. We'll transition now to maybe something that happened today. World Cup officially kicking off. There we go. All right, let's talk about, I think, the atmosphere here today. I think, what did y'all make of that? You guys had the booth set up, but also, I mean, at Mexico, South Africa. What did y'all think of the first match and the opening ceremony of the tournament?
Definitely a crowd pleaser. I will say that. 3 red cards in the first game. I mean, no one can top, even in the future World Cups, no one can top. I don't think anyone can top the first game that happened today. But on Mexico's part, they really came in with some great players and great momentum. And I'm excited to see where the tournament takes them.
Yeah, first game of the tournament. I mean, we got 3 red cards the first game. Mexico won 2-0. I mean, it was a rematch from 2010 when Shabalala scored a banger. Rafa Marquez saved us, but we got the dub this time. So, I mean, just excited. The atmosphere here was great. I did not expect that many people to show up, but getting to interact with the kids was good. They got little gifts here and there, prizes, which was cool. But, it was a great turnout.
We have to talk. I will say, we talked a little bit about it. I think the red card for Mexico. Just me personally, I think the straight red's a bit much. I think it's a bit much. I understand it was a physical game. It was one of those things. It got a little heated towards the end. But, I mean, going to their captain in Montez, too, he's going to be out for that game against South Korea. Yeah. I personally think going red is a bit just trigger happy. Yeah. I think it's a foul, and it's a yellow, definitely. The red a bit much for me, just a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think it was definitely a goal-scoring opportunity. Yeah, you could argue he was the last man, but definitely the corner of the 18.
Yeah, it's a tricky call.
It's hard. It's hard. And I think when you look at this World Cup too, and, I think Drew asked the question about, does it set, a tone for calls going forward? And I said no, because I feel like with every referee you have in this tournament, it's going to be so different. I think with the calls that are going to be shown too.
I think that even with the new rules that,
Absolutely.
FIFA has implemented, it's definitely promoted a more faster paced game.
I agree.
And, decisions has to be made under pressure. So I think we can see some similar aspects going forward, but I don't think it necessarily sets a tone going forward.
I would agree. Let's talk about, I think for both of you, World Cup wise as a whole in general, who do you think has the best chance of making it? Who do you think is going to be the 2 at the end in the final, and who's going to win? Who's going to take it home?
Oh my God. So I'm Jamaican. I'm a Brazil fan by heart, but I think it's definitely going to be a France, maybe Spain kind of World Cup.
Yeah, that'd be mine. That'd be mine too.
That's what I see.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you got great teams. France is stacked, Spain stacked, Brazil stacked, England stacked. But I don't know. Maybe Mexico takes it this time. Always hoping. U.S. would be pretty cool, but I think France. I think France is gonna go.
That's what I said. I think they're the most. I think they're the most complete team. I think when you look at it, but can France, I think, turn it on? That's going to be the question for them. I think Spain has the ability to do that as well, and that's why I think it'll be them too. I said France is going to take it home. I think France is going to do it. But I will say, out of the host cities, I think with U.S., Mexico, and Canada, I think, honestly, the way I saw Mexico play today, I think they're at the top right now. I think when you look at that, too, I think U.S. is slowly behind. Canada's one I'm questioning, Canada, a little bit, and where they're going to be. I think
the first game will tell us everything.
Yeah, the first game will tell us everything.
It's against Bosnia and Herzegovina, and they're a team, obviously, that got in through the playoffs. But they're a team, I think, that might surprise a couple people. I think in what they can bring. it's going to be at home for Canada. We'll see if they can manage to do it.
Yeah.
I'll ask one more question for you guys, and I'll let you guys go because I've put you all on the hot seat too much, and you guys probably are annoyed talking to me from all the other stuff with UPSL too. So we'll get things rolling. But Golden Boot, who do you think's going to take it Golden Boot? I know. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I hate to do it. I'm sorry.
Golden Boot. Mbappe.
Mbappe. I was like,
Mbappe. All right.
He's
All right.
a world
Yeah.
merchant. Man.
Yeah.
No, he is. He is.
goal scorer by
Yeah.
heart.
I
Definitely.
agree. And I think one of the young players you're going to see is Desiree Due. I think is really going to come in. I think surprise
Yeah.
a lot of people too. I think of what he brings, his quality. I like watching him play a lot. I think especially in those situations
I
too.
think playmaker-wise, though, a lot of them during the season for the Prem, Ryan Shirky is definitely one to look at. If we're looking at it, like he's gonna be the key.
I like
Shirky
that. All right.
from Man City.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he's gonna be one of the
I like
key
that.
players looking
I
into
like
this
that.
tournament.
I like that. Okay. Perfect. I like it a lot.
Wish and hope that Ronaldo gets one too.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Which I think even thinking about it, there's a possibility that you could get, I believe, a semifinal matchup
Yeah.
between Argentina and
And
Portugal,
Yeah.
Yep.
which would be, I think actually it could be in Atlanta.
Yeah. Definitely.
That would be, I think the city might like explode.
Because I think Portugal definitely has one of the strongest midfields going into it right
I
now.
would agree.
You'll just have to spend a pretty penny to get in.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, definitely.
Oof, it would be a lot, guys. Well, once again, thank you guys again for taking the time, and good luck on Sunday as well. UPSL, LSA Mustangs. Make sure you're following Georgia Impact on all social medias. It's Georgia Impact _men on social for UPSL. Make sure you tune in. We're going to have all the coverage here. But yes, once again, thank you guys again.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Appreciate you
y'all.
for having us.
We're going to bring back in Drew and John if they're paying attention. They are paying attention. You're coming back in. Tag team again. I got y'all.
Don't forget your phone.
Tag out, tag out. Once again, Georgia Impact. Great organization here, especially up in Canton. Some really good soccer from the men's side and the women's side. Make sure you check it out on social media for everything. It's been honestly a joy, I think, getting the chance to be a part of this organization and watch them grow and develop. So definitely, you want to make sure that you're tuning in on all social media for them, and follow me too. I'll have a lot of stuff for them as well.
Where
But
do they follow you?
you can follow me, Madison Crew 7, if you want.
See? There you go.
If you so choose to. All right, wrapping things up here. We got a couple more minutes left here at Reformation to
Yes.
keep things going.
Yes.
Let's talk about World Cup in general.
Sure.
And overall expectations, I think what we can expect. Same questions I asked UPSL as well, but I'll ask you guys too. I think going into this tournament, there's a lot of heavy hitters, I think, in who could be it. I've always said I think France is the most complete team. Now, for me, France, the question is going to be if they can turn it on, I think, at the time. Because there have been times.
Egos.
Mbappe.
Yes, and I mean, I think, and maybe it is. I've said it for a couple weeks now, and I think even now today, I feel like it was a sign. I turned on my TV this morning getting ready, and it was literally the 2022 final.
So awesome.
Such a great
Argentina.
game.
Oh,
my
wow!
God.
I
Emi
remember
Martinez.
I was with my family up in Athens. We were watching it because it was also, again, it was in December, so it was right at the time of college football too.
Yeah.
We had that, and then I think a Georgia game.
Georgia won the national
Yep,
title.
won the
in
national
between
title that year. Like, it was wild. So we were there watching it. One of the most insane finals I've ever seen in my life. But I also want to talk, and I mean, that also will lead into another conversation we'll talk about later. But I think for me, France has the best chance.
France.
Will they turn it on?
No.
I don't know. I do think it will be a Spain-France final.
Oh, boy.
I do think it will be that. And I'm going to say it here, and if I'm wrong, you can come back to this and be like, you were wrong, and I'll gladly take it. But
fine.
You
I do
recording
think
this? You marking this?
it's
right
recorded.
there?
It's
Right
recorded.
there.
There it is.
Yeah.
Hello. No,
So
I'm just kidding.
I think they have the best chance, but I'm really interested to see maybe where Argentina falls, because Argentina is also one that is really intriguing because they have the talent, but I think you're creeping up in age a little bit.
They got the
right out of my
tools.
mouth.
Yeah.
They got the talent.
But listen, I think if you find a way to use Thiago Almada in the right way,
Oh, yeah.
maybe you're looking at a replacement for Di Maria. Maybe he can fill that spot a little bit and what he can do. I also just love Thiago and the way that he plays. I would love to see him be a big factor, I think, in this squad.
I will
Threw
start.
a lot at you.
I'll start with France.
France.
Obviously, Mbappe, one of the top 3, 4, 5 biggest names in the tournament.
But
I don't think that's the backbone of that French team. I think Mbappe's goals will come as Michael Olise gives. If Olise doesn't play like he played with Harry Kane,
Yeah.
talk about somebody who doesn't never not show up.
Yeah.
He shows up, whistle. I almost said bell to bell again.
It's a triple negative. So it's a negative. Okay.
Negative.
And then add on a positive.
Well, if you went triple negative, so it's a negative. But if you went double negative, it'd be a positive.
I'm confused. I confused every. That's
It's all right. It's all right.
But no, Michael Olise, the amount of assists. I mean, I think he had the most assists ever in the Bundesliga for a season. Just played so well. And look, I'm not taking anything away from Mbappe because, like I said, he's one of the heavy hitters in the tournament. Complete both sides of the ball. You can't count out Dembele.
Oh yeah.
You can't count out Dembele, but
Oof.
it's going to be scary. But for me, I can't count out Portugal. You know, we talk about age, and we talk about teams that are climbing up there. But I think right now, besides Ronaldo, who might be talk about tip of the spear for the Americans needing to show up, he could be the Achilles heel for that Portuguese team, which we've seen many times over.
I think so.
But just like the U.S., that midfield and the depth that they use for the width they use on the wing, the experience and the hunger, because just like Argentina in 2022, they thought it was Lionel's last World Cup. Yeah. They did it all for him. I see Portugal kind of doing this, mirroring this tournament for Ronaldo. Yeah. But I don't know if Roberto Martinez wants to play him as much as Cristiano thinks he's going to be played. That's a question as well.
That's true.
I'm excited to see that. What do you think?
Okay.
Oh, no. I think we tripped you up.
No, you didn't trip me up. It's just that with Portugal, I'm looking at this is Roberto Martinez going to have that conversation with Cristiano Ronaldo to go, quote, hey, fam, comma, you're not starting every game. I need you to come off the bench. I need you to come in, give me 30, run like hell, and be that guy. Because if you start him, then there's going to be that obligation to feed him.
Yes. Then the entire tactical situation for the Portuguese team becomes, where's Ronaldo? And that's what happened in 2022. But keep going. I'm sorry.
And so that, to me, is the issue with Portugal. So I'm like, I just, where Portugal's concerned, I fear that Cristiano Ronaldo is too much of a talking point, too much of a centerpiece for them to be overtly successful. Yeah. For France.
Francais.
Yeah. That was Stevie, by the way. France. I feel that Kylian Mbappe will be someone who will cost you in a key moment. He'll give you the goals, but he's not going to help you out defensively. Nope. And I think you need that. If you're that team and you want to make a deep run, you've got to have 11 dudes who are willing to come back and help defensively. Kylian Mbappe is not that person. I think that there's going to be a moment where you're going to need him and he's not going to be there. So I don't think that France is going to go as deep as folks think.
Let me ask you a question. Maybe you guys know, and I apologize for not knowing this because I know when he plays down the middle for Madrid. Does Deschamps play him on the outside as a winger, or will he play him as that number 9 this time?
It's like, bruh, there you go.
Okay. Free, you just roam?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say, though, I feel like maybe it's a little bit different with the national team than maybe at a club team, though, because I feel like, especially when you saw him in that matchup against Argentina, it was a lot more of a complete team. And I think in that situation, you might get a different side of it. And I think with that, I mean, also, too, again, Mbappe is obviously, I think he's going to be the starter. He's going to be your focal point looking at. But you do have Dembele. You have Dembele coming off the bench. And I mean, and if he ends up showing up and he gets the results you want, then maybe you do see the switch. I mean, that's the thing with this French side. I feel like you have so much talent, not only that can start, but also on the bench. And also, it's not like I think you're trading out, someone who plays for literally Real Madrid to then someone else. Hey, you can come in and play for PSG. You're going to step in and play there too. Why not? I also think you have such a complete roster. I really think Desiree Due is going to be a breakout
He's
in
a
this
bad
tournament.
man.
He
Yeah,
is,
he's on the rise.
whew,
Well, and,
he's
and
fun
remember,
to
Nuno
watch.
Mendes, arguably
Yep.
one of the best wingbacks in the world,
Yep.
bringing
And-
the ball up the left side. It could be another blessing if Mbappe does play on the left.
Very
you can
true.
you have a way to sneak in Dembele,
Yeah.
which wouldn't stink if you're a French fan.
Yep.
That's me. I don't know.
Yeah. I will say, as we're rounding things out, because we do have a hard out around 6:15, because there is trivia happening here at Reformation right after us. I do want to say, dark horses is a big talking point in this tournament,
I got one.
and there's a lot of them. Oh, already jumping in. All right, I have one of them. I've always said it, and I do think this, but there's one that I actually have a question mark about, because I'm curious, because no one's talking about this team, and I do think they do have some playmakers that could cause a rise. I think for me, dark horse, Morocco.
Oh, yeah.
I think Morocco, I mean, you saw what they did in the last tournament, but I also
Right.
think, obviously, we're talking about the coaching change.
Yeah.
That's the big talking point.
That's it.
But I think even with the coaching change, that squad is still going to be the same. And honestly, I think adding that coaching change, that might also spark something else too. I still think Morocco is going to do really well. I think they're going to make a deep run in the tournament. I think they're my dark horse. My dad saying Belgium. He thinks they have a shot of doing that. And I do agree with him too. I will say the one for me that I have a lot of question marks, but I think more in a positive than a negative way, Brazil.
Oh, I like that. I do like that, because you look at that Brazil roster from top to bottom, and you kind of question, like, who's their killer?
Yeah. I mean, because here's my thing. I don't think Neymar is going to start.
Don't get me started.
He's not going to
Don't get me
start.
started.
But I think if you bring Neymar off the bench,
But where?
I'm scared.
Where?
I mean, if you need it in a
He's going to get
pinch-
hurt eventually. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
Well,
No, I think, and I'm not just saying this too, because Marquinhos is slowly becoming one of my favorite.
He's awesome.
Obviously, I mean, listen, you guys know that I'm a defender. I like that back line situation. That's what I like. But I think Marquinhos.
She slammed Chris Henderson in the media game. She's a defender.
Listen, my a great moment, guys, for me.
Highlight.
No, it's one for me where I think Brazil is an interesting one, because there are so many stars. I mean, you have Vinicius Jr. too, obviously. I mean, what he brings too. Brazil could be one that's just like, it's a question mark, and maybe not a negative way, but maybe not in a positive way, just more of like what are they going to do?
But I think, to your point, I think that they will go as far as Carlo Ancelotti and his game planning will take them. They have to listen to him, because I think he's the smartest one in the room.
Yeah.
You could have all the talent in the world, and if they want to freelance and do their own thing when they need to get that goal to get a win, I think that they have to pay attention that much more to Carlo Ancelotti to be successful than they would be in the years past, where it's been Jogo Bonito and it's freelancing and dancing and all that kind of stuff. I think they're more tied to the brain of Carlo Ancelotti as to their level of success.
Well, guys,
Hold
our
on, real
time.
quick.
Oh wait, we
10
have one more
seconds,
thought.
Wait 10 seconds. Yes.
One more thought.
I've got a dark horse.
All right.
And
okay.
my dark horse is
Manchester United.
the team.
What?
He led UEFA in goal scoring during qualifiers. He had the most goals scored.
I know who you're going to say.
He is an alien. I think he scored 55 goals in 50 games for the Norwegian national
Yeah,
team.
there it is. There it is.
Playing right in front of Martin Odegaard, who is right off the heels of a Premier League championship. Almost a Champions League final win. I think that
The build is suspenseful.
he, as an Erling Haaland, will break the goal scoring record in the group stage.
Wow.
I just don't know about the longevity as far as depth for the Norwegians once the 16s and the knockouts come.
Right.
But I do think, just kind of like a Miroslav Klose from Germany, the goals that Haaland's going to score are going to be at an abundance this World Cup. I think he's going to break the goal scoring record
I like it.
for a single tournament, not
I like it.
not for for forever. But
I
I'm
like
saying
it.
a single
I like
tournament.
it. Fair enough. Alrighty. Well, that does it here for us for SDH for today. Tomorrow, we will be back here right at the top. It will kick things off here, especially for summer soccer. Here, the World Cup watch party at the Mill at Etowah. We'll be right back here at 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. We're going to lead right into AST with Jason Longshore. That's going to be on 92.9 The Game tomorrow. So
And
make
the
sure to come to
OCR.
us for a little bit of a pregame, then go over to AST afterwards. But that's going to do it for us here at Reformation. Once again, thank you so much for having us here. And we'll be right back tomorrow at 5 p.m. to kick things off, especially as we preview the U.S. men's national team versus Paraguay. So once again, we'll see you all later.
What she said.